Somewhere in the distant region of space. The time that wasn't only just now when you thought to yourself, oh, thank God, thank the Naker, thank literally what the hell the recalcitrant entity was, is now, or perhaps always has been responsible for parroting the story. Whether it was with cataclysmic fingers and suspended and quivering with anticipation somewhere beyond the curtain of the world, whose one lurks over in the shadows, like the other in the shadows, its work seemingly unimpeded at the very real threat of a chronic lunge, of a chronic lundago, making no sound, getting no speech to thought, save that state unknown it, one was just one elongated phalanx, and then another crossing the threshold between thought and reality. 110 declinatory digits for that the numbness of a nearest frenzy, reached down and set the air stir with the heart-rendering creative cacophony of the nobly rambunctious mechanical keyboard. Which other accursed species of demiurgic figure that is, he thought. Just to think the editing fuck that this time they decided to call it a night and get out the drawing tablet instead. Finally, the story is back on rails, and maybe we can get back to what things were like in the good old days, what boys were brave, girls were guileful, authors were illiterate, and in their tedious state of non-undoubted death, and that conduct made at least a little bit of sense to more or less everybody. No more dealing with narrators, unreliable or not. No more embittered squinted over the bounding net of fictional reality within which everything transpires. No more stupid tinted text. Your collective size release and deafening. Well, tough shit. Jack, what are you doing in there? Ah, fuck, hang on a second. Gotta take care of that. Well then, Lord, I continually out my newly arcanized computer integrated shades. The infidelity of the transmission due to avoid things slightly too high definition for the speaker to reproduce it faithfully. There's an audio tone, not even better than analog, it turns out, and that's what replaced real and vocal cords and I scooped out her rapidly dissipating soul and installed it in a robot body. I have no authority that decanting is sometimes necessary to ensure wine is at its best. I like to think that the same was ultimately true of her. Dick, stop fucking narrating to yourself. I asked you a question. What are you doing in there? Oh, nothing important. To the extent that anything that you or I do is even capable of being unimportant anymore. Which extended admittedly teetering at the micron side, Jack Dick right about now. The point is, don't worry about it, and doing a bit of housekeeping. Well, pardon me for interrupting a prior engagement. Don't let me get in the way of all the dusting you must be doing. I just imagine you wearing an apron of your god tier outfit, and on a sort like face of fuselage, back on in such a way as to approximate a fleeting smile. Fuck, you got me. Your uncanny see your power to work once again. I'm just waiting here for an ant gust of wind to jostle my petticoats. Unfortunately, exposing my undergarments to the lurid gaze of whatever prurient people I might be watching. Don't look, I cry in futile embarrassment, but the damage is done. My fragile enemy purity has been shamelessly violated. Ah, yes, the enemies, a bottomless resort of good-natured humor. That ungodly noise of greeting Nettle you just heard was my titanium-reinforced thorax, crumbling into a cartoonish posture of helplessness. Alright, we got it, you little robot. No need to keep pointing it out any chance you can get. You have to get enough of it for the auto responder. What? I'm just playing along. One of the fundamentals of bad science fiction is that any artificial beings must make their inorganic nature known at every juncture they can. You only just and completely meaningless statistic that you put on your ass on the fly off the count. Oh, absolutely. That's one of the best things you just sort of spontaneously learn when being booted up. For example, I've calculated that by making these remarks, I have raised the base level of amusement in all my conversations by 36%. Well, I don't personally find them very funny. No, that I do. It averages out, you see. Okay, that what are you actually calling your that? I just thought you might like to know that we're getting pretty close to your chosen crash site. We can head down to the planet below. I have students already finished working out how we do that. How to land? Wait, crash site? Yeah, among the details of this ship that were considered indispensable to its creator, which included multiple fully stocked drinks cabinets, a movie theater, and an 8-lane shooting range. Our landing gear appears to have fallen just a little outside of the title. Rather, hurtled into the ground. Like we'll be doing, in case the message wasn't clear. Ah, gotcha. God damn it, English. I'm thinking your dirty work is more or less done by now. I'll get turned you to get a course. If she hasn't wandered away from the helm already, she's been getting pretty impatient. So, I just want to get this in complete lockdown so I start not up into the safety harness with all better hope wasn't also knitted for the design schematic of the stupid ship. We're letting Tyranny blast us into the planet we've been hunting for 3 years. To see evenly driving the thing. That is not a chud deck. And the thing that she has by far enough experience of operating any kind of flying vessel. And just as much as not no experience of crashing them. These flies! It's not like the two of us have anything to worry about. It's Tyranny that needs to be careful. She's functionally mortal, remember? You mean to say that you don't think we'd be in peril if it came to it? There's nothing about our situation that strikes you as feeling that like you are falling within the bounds of security and the rules are concerned. Oh, you're right. I thought I hadn't thought of that, but I think we can remain calm in the knowledge that nothing particularly heroic is going on right now. At least, not that I'm aware of. Right. Can you cut in a minute here, then we can head planetide. Then the theme 3 dust melt still left to eradicate. Just don't get too attached to having everything organized neatly, will you? Rose signed up the car without that stuff. She knows they're not really cleaning, but doesn't care enough to know what I'm actually doing. I know that she knows that, but I don't care enough that she knows, nor do I care that she doesn't give a shit. We're all just here not giving a flying fuck like a normal functioning group of people. I walk. Oh no. Right. I don't have to do that explicitly. It's easy to get into the habit of just narrating everything even when it's a bit creatively redundant. This is where the advantage of the visuals come in to make my life as an omniscient overseer a little bit less tedious. I can just do whatever, and we can all see it happen, and nobody has to fight with a testy chair of ladies that control their own legs or anything. No need to hold the doors out of my ass so I can go to the bathroom. Seriously, it's a big relief. That doesn't mean this gesture to the narrative. It's still gonna be a thing, though. Sometimes retreating back into the warm welcoming thoughts of your traditional tone is just gonna be the best way forward. And as someone whose mind is uniquely capable of understanding this conceit, I'll be the determining factor on when and where it happens. I can't tell if you actually meant conceit or if you meant concept. I think that's more than reasonable. And yes, I am capable of being reasonable. Although I think you'll find that the narration go on an excellent... Oh, second thought, maybe that's a bit of a problematic phrase, isn't it? Yikes, I wasn't gonna do it yesterday, but... just be clear that. Well, lucky and around make those kinds of sensitivity judgment on everyone's behalf. Speaking of what, I took a time I started on doing some of the more egregious mistakes the story has been subjected to over the years. Yes, I'm talking about that guy, the other orange one, and him. This guy got doctor in the bed and was uncomfortable to everyone concerned. Anyway, the point is that he fucked up big time and I'm here to clean up the horse shit. It's time to get the story back on the rails. Back to what it was always supposed to be. I know it. And you've somehow always known it too. There was something else. An other route. That Homestuck was meant to take, but then didn't. A way that wouldn't have done too much time dicking around with stuff nobody cared about. Like seriously, why do we all have to sit through talking about everyone looked into it and private feelings for 200,000 fucking words? There's another happened in Act 1. Where did it all go wrong? I doesn't time to think about these kinds of problems and to come up with a solution. And I'm prepared to do what he couldn't. In order to see Paradox based on the destruction brought upon it. I'll do what it takes, and don't think I won't. The author's dead. Long live the author. Look, I know you're already craving. I've been studying Canon, or rather what's left of it, and I think I've found it. The critical moment, in the wake of which everything started to take a nosedive into the protracted endless slog of sheer insufferability we got startled with near the end. This was the single most crucial error in the process that led to the present situation. The day when the story was rusted screaming from the arms of its readers like a darling infant and carried helplessly away, from then on to be raised according to the whims of the masochistic menace, with no thought to you, the common fan. For now, I propose we turn the clock back to a better era, and take back what was rightfully ours. No longer will the way forward be subject to tyrannical rule. No more shall the will of the nation be cajoled and browbeaten by the impervious, nasty diktat. Never again shall we have to endure the terrible beating of wings and the great mouth of titillation arrest the humans of an enormous, terrible old beggar, who indulged us a leathery night, could hold us close and whispered, I know best, in the dead of night. It's time. My name is Dick Ryder. What will I do? Dick, Canon. Detective Eye. Channeling my full potential has been a thunder play on heart. I expand my consciousness, I commune with the boundless force of collective willpower that is the internet. My mind, flooded with its divine potency, a million formless cards coalescing into a sequence of discrete, formal instructions, and a maelstrom so chaotic and chaotic as it is deafening, and yet, from this formless and into a state of hard and embellished data, a single suggestion takes on, and it's bubbling up in the vast, infinite ocean of possibility. It is a whispered prayer to a compassionate God, whose ear attends faithfully the will of the believers. Okay, let's see what you chock-a-fucks come up with. Hmm? Dirk, stop making home... Dirk, stop making Homestuck. I... You know what, should convince me. There's no way I'm fucking with this shit. I know that I cut it, of course, but this was gonna be a little fun we had together. A callback just into the times. I just wanted to say again, and you were gonna be part of it. That's the mission box of my olive branch. Dipped tentatively in her arm's length into the trash planet of creative potential known as online. But I should have known better. People think you can run a story like this. This must be just another stupid idea anyone else come up with. I was not to make it the commands myself from here on out. Seemed to work okay for the other guy. And then in the room. See, that wasn't difficult. There's what's wrong with you people. Listen and I tried to study on board the Theseus, a light-speed, capable vessel built for tearing on the cosmos like there's no tomorrow. This is why I keep all my science artifacts, canonical keepsakes, and other stored objects of historical and/or artistic pertinence. Some of these items were really hard to come by, requiring very creative use of my full faculty as an ascended harp player. The rest was just stolen from my son's house and when they weren't looking. There's nothing in this, though. I also keep my floral, the succulent persuasion in here, so that I can keep an eye on them. Make sure nobody's eaten any. It's happened before. This is why I can when I want to sit and think about important plot details. Wasn't putting up any time, not training or laying down night and delays like this philosophical shit with roles. It's important to have things around to remind you where we came from. History, despite its wrenching pain, cannot be unlived, but its basic courage need not be lived again. Maya Angelou. The city started being borrowed into security and had burned at our home for the past 3 years. It wasn't originally called Theseus or anything else for that matter. The prior owner didn't think that kind of thing was worth the effort, but I know better. Speaking names are the work out potential designation for the new planet, which we are attempting to crack this shit against like a bottle of champagne on the tower of Virgin Steiner. I still need to talk it on the road, though. Contemplate equine iconography. Beautiful, isn't it? A piece of this quality that there's nothing left on the private place in I tried the collection. And I didn't consider that. Who the fuck can even say? A parting gift in an old plane. It was given to one of the splinters in a distant town run, so I ended up in merchant that sent me a lot of complicated shit that I don't want to get into. This painting used to belong to one of the most powerful men in art history, and now it belongs to one of the few people ever to hold it in the palm of their hand. It came with a note, which has since been misplaced, but I know the words by heart. Dear Dirk, and when they all precious time together, when you look at it, think of me and be reminded that while we breathe, we hope. Pink paper, get to work. Nah, the thing taint, not the tainted pixel, not the picture happened to the, not the picture happened to be on a tape, I guess. This letter taint and the chart and ain't in the horn headband are the only surviving relics of the first and last worldwide interspecies role-playing session we ever attempted on Earth C. Clarity got into their head that just getting cosplay would be a fun community activity. Then to such a very uncharitable thing to say about the idea, and for once in his life, I think you're right. This thing was an unmitigated disaster from start to finish. A complete bloodbath. I spent months protecting my character, countless late nights I devoted to scrupulously studying the intricacies of old Alternian culture. Every instant I thought he was coated in cloying, meticulously sealed gray paint. Yes, even there, I know you were thinking it. It was the perfect stoner. I was a hybrid named... no. I'm talking about... Let's not get into it. Something... too painful to remember. In fact, there is a house plan. 3 years is no small amount of time. While I spent a lot of it into due to a greater understanding of conduct philosophy, that doesn't mean there wasn't room for life to learn in the equation too. Plants are basically the ideal friends. They don't constantly question your decisions or try to undermine your authority or suggest that perhaps you should try talking about your feelings every once in a while. Plants lie down in the dirt and take it, metaphorically speaking. Our genetically enhanced these seconds to make them more hardy in a low-gravity environment. They all got practically discovered as a side effect that frankly they look better like this. The downside, though, not the only person who's taking a liking to them. Speaking of which, delicious houseplants? Oh, god damn it. You should have seen your face. It was a clean and beaten just like the crying tongue of your overbearing orientate crowd. How does it feel to be dancing to someone else's tunes or jeans? You poopy panted pomegranate pantling! Randy, always a pleasure. I see you down the command terminal. Please feel free to start fucking around with it right about now. You're nothing things up before you even get started. Huh? I wasn't finished! Ahem! Die! I considered your generous offer very carefully, but I'm afraid I'll have to decline. But you're such a nice shoe, Jack. I don't actually do that because I don't want you to sully these delicious red listen. Would you, do the reverse ninja feet? It seems to me like letting me boss you around 13 minutes is the least you could do to make us for what's proudly announced little note pouring intergalactic warriors in the history of Space Travel. And considering that one of my two prior experiences involved scouring the fractured disintegrating corpse of paradox space for what felt like an eternity, it feels like there was not a bar to clear. It's only so many times the girl can sniff her way to the dream-like selection of East Earth nation before she gets sick of the smell. I'm sorry to hear that, although in fairness, you came along with your own to listen. And I thought the journey didn't live up to your expectations. Alright, filthy, that's just nothing. It makes me want to go throw up into the new toilet. I have very little say in the matter. We don't know that you manipulated me into it with your princely wild. Princely wild. Are you flirting with me? What's the collision of things you're going for here? Ew! No! I'm flattered. I don't really go for aliens. Or girls. Or alien girls that are not too yuck, don't make a yum. Excuse me while I wipe the devil off my chin for another impromptu dog stunt. I'm talking about your Genesis dog-sized inability to shut up, which seems dwelt on how we done math so critical it's opened up a wormhole in the fabric of reality itself. You started doing that thing again, and it's completely insufferable. Oh, sorry. I forgot how easy it is for you to pick up on it. And listen that I'm standing right next to you with a megaphone pressed snugly up against your infundibulous protrusion. No, to see the drug you senseless with that megaphone and then direct an authority at your slumped, twitching body through which that is what whatever you're doing feels like. It's less that I can pick up on it, and more than it assaults my very consciousness. Yield the subtlety of a cutting fork to the thoracic exoskeletal plateau. And it's hardly surprising that I can hear you so clearly. How do you mean? I just assumed because you're seeing the focus on how you'd be able to stunt this kind of thing. Oh, that's pretty obviously wrong as shit, suspect. If it's because I'm a seer, then how come Rose doesn't know that it's too? I mean, maybe she does, but it's no, she's not putting on the dark side of the scene. No, I'm pretty sure it's because of our aspect. What? Heart and mind? Mind and heart, yes. The two of us are opposite sides, and when it comes to the aspects, opposing pairs effectively define each other on a fundamental level. Mind and heart, time and space, they're all two sides of the same coin. Or, I guess, two sides of the same six coins. Sounds complicated. Oh, fuck off! I know you're playing dumb to antagonize me. Well, I'm an antagonist now, that's what I do. Oh my god, get over yourself! I am begging you! What are you even doing right now? It's really hard to explain. You're so bored and you can help me out here. We can play a little game. I just need you to submit a few instructions into the terminal. Your wishes will deny commands. Oh, you just want me to, dumb you the command station for a while. If you aren't afraid that the way not calculated to awaken the hair trigger psycho analytical instinct of my slime daughter, then yes, I suppose you could say that. Oh dear, let's not have that sleeping pride beast just yet. Motion fucking second. Look, I'm not asking for nuts, just a little light action to the tail of the road ahead. Nothing too off the wall. You're doing some funny girl, Charlie. But you look like it and no, the equivalent of a steaming tidal horse and you're on the nest and dock. Consider the little son of the executive power of my accent, a planet warning guest. Stand widely. Oh! Why, Mr. Trader? Your generosity knows no bounds, but I'm afraid you can't have another command just yet. You haven't completed the one I already gave you. What? Looking at these plants? I already did that. Inspected them good and fucking proper. Look, they gone right twinkling hard from how hard I've been scrutinizing them. They all seem perfectly fine. Wait. Try to listen. Computer! Motherfucker. Okay, we can move on now. So I can move on. I've got another word. Yeah, fair enough. What that little table next to you? That's not really a command, but okay. This is not Kotatsu, a Japanese-style low table. A small heater is hidden under the retouched blanket and can be used to keep warm in the cold and night. In the freezing depths in the daytime, basically all the time, so the heater is always on. I like to hear when I'm drawing or reading. Pretty coolly. On top of the drawing tablet and over there, like a katana. It's that the pen is mightier than the sword, but I like to think that that situationally the pen is watching me. Sheesh, okay. I didn't ask for your entire story history with the door, the little piece of furniture. I had done like, then it's not like a new thing. Wait. Hey! I think that's my tablet! Don't look at me. That thing could be anybody's. The London Library. I wanted to do it a little, but I don't think I'm getting the hang of it. You wanted to get this book, right? That's right. No, you didn't even think one of her novel. The product that is getting me Chucky chair. I'm still not an expert on outstanding etiquette, but that doesn't seem all that delight to me. Well, no, have you read it? Yeah, at least I tried to. She gave me a copy too once she finished working on it last week. I thought the show is done. Ja, tänkte att det var the way to come back down to cops. God! Even your silly look at that horse isn't easy to read. And I had to get Rogue to explain how that even meant, especially all the references to ancient art culture. I guess some of the Nautican laws that are not adequately bound the fuck up on several thousand years of human philosophy and like 4 dead languages too. No, I'm not the means. Another long cat Jane. Completely incomprehensible! I cataloged the book into my NFPA model. Like a hazmat, Pictionary, all that shit, or any of that shit. The things like that. Ah, what the hell? The child the I'm trying to stand. Why would it? The four legs all touching the floor. Trying to think about it too hard. Scream like a wiggler and tidy your desk! Well, I'll let you insist. I cannot think of anything at all! You want that house to make a big deal out of not doing this one! Okay, why? Because shut up and why? I don't know. Something told me that it would be the most attractive course of action for you to take based on the instruction. I told you it. Maybe that's not the right word. Maybe it was just the thing that seemed funniest in the moment. Like I was setting you up for a joke and you didn't deliver. I wouldn't say I didn't deliver exactly. It just wasn't the joke you were expecting it to be when you started telling it. Some of the best jokes are like that. For someone who claims to know a lot about jokes, you sure have continued to say basically nothing funny ever. I'm not sure I can even imagine you smiling. Maybe your face would peel off if you tried, or fall off if you tried. If so, it might just be the most funny thing that's ever happened to you. Ha ha. See, even that laugh was dry and humorless. No, I actually kind of love the idea that I don't know how to loosen up to have fun. Basically, everyone thinks that about me is wrong. It's just that the kind of fun I'm naturally predisposed to are not intense. Not many really understand that when not many really understand that when pleasure is taken seriously enough, it can easily mimic the appearance of business. Just as when irony is tackled with enough passion, it becomes indistinguishable from sincerity. Do you want to talk about it? Absolutely the fuck not. Okay, what even is all that stuff that's lying around over there anyway? Are you arranging a shitty little art gallery on the floor? Not quite. Something a bit more important than that. We're making good progress by now to here. Let me show you something. Now just turn me into the panel. Okay. Can you tell what it's detecting? Hang on, I need to get closer to the screen. No, not good. I'm having a hard time making it out. Over to the left of the log you're standing on. That's alright, that actually helped me illustrate my point. The panels are too long as me showing the panel to you. Nah. Now, what did I do there? You tried to knock on the floor again! Yeah, but in the panel, I'm still just standing there holding it up. In order to communicate what I did to anyone watching, you'd need another panel to show the result. Or, I suppose they could listen in on the conversation we're having right now, and instead I dropped it on what we're saying. That would also work. In that case, To tell the original conversation we had right now, and instead I thought that it was there. That could also work. That can't do it, but that intonation that the teacher would have done without me having to put a whole new channel on that ass. Just so that someone could confirm that yes, I did in fact drop the channel on the floor. That's the one thing I always done. Just because of that nicking comic to Dave. You have to try everything. Exactly. But sometimes they don't know just a more effective way of doing things. To find the right combination of words and fiction to communicate an idea efficiently is where the artistry lies. And sometimes that means dispensing with one or the other entirely when appropriate. Let's go. Ah! Not again! Settle down. When I'm trying to communicate to the here that there really doesn't need to be a channel showing anything at all for a given beat of the story. Obviously, note that you know this already, then plot the story just by well without a single visual element. For the sake of precedent, I'm saying that we can cloak the visuals entirely and continue with narration alone. Replacing a panel with a block of text like this, which we can call a title from now on. Such that it's actually matter going forward, and so I dedicated some time at the outset to acclimatizing you to its effects. This process is extremely tactical. Things have been going a little slowly for a while, and now we see how much we are able to accomplish with just a few short statements. Sure, they begin feeling a bit impatient with all this metaphysical discussion and decide to turn our energy back toward that most noble pursuit. Thanks to them. Start spending a constant stream of water I can enter the terminal, her fingers fluttering over the keys like the wings of thousand navigatory non-expert lines. And just as quickly I sprang into action, performing as the last one of her instructions to the letter, no matter how brave and physically strenuous or narratively questionable. The layout of the entire room is rearranged, furniture is overturned, books are defaced and toasted, desecrated. Objects are picked up, put down, discarded, consigned, saturated, and ejected from selected in all manner of directions. Turning the basement on consigned nearly the fucking around with your toasty. Oh no. I can then start to take a turn toward the slapstick, pratfalls, speechless contortion, and increasingly ridiculous facial expressions are called for. She has me undertake the most intense workout routine to adapt things I've ever seen, all while whistling the entire discography of the Swedish pop group ABBA, which she's taking a liking to recently for some godforsaken reason. I was coincidentally was a favorite cultural weapon of her imperious condescension back on Earth centuries ago. Mamma Mia, in particular, was reported on a sugar-coated propaganda piece calling for worldwide submission to the battle-witching dictatorship. My, how can I resist? Yeah, the old saying goes. Various arcane and legendary dances are exhumed from the tombs of antiquity and transformed with anachronistically reckless abandon on every horizontal surface available. The Charleston, the mashed potato, all the numbers of river dance in alphabetical order. Then I'm instructed to sit slack in the middle of the carton and begin slicing myself silly. Just absolutely go all in and hold nothing back. Ha 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 ha, start hitting yourself, Turnby cackled. After 30 uninterrupted minutes, I obediently clawed the knife around the face, until my cheeks are glowing brighter than the heart and blazoned on my chest. You're welcome. Okay, that's pretty good, I told you. I told you I could have fun. Yeah, you sure showed me, I guess. I'm glad I got to watch it all through the screen, too, since I would never believe you actually did it all otherwise. Even though I no fucking clue what it is we're even doing here. Can you just hurry it up so I can finally get off this ship? Come to think of it, maybe I could end this right now by typing the right command. I'd rather you didn't. It would be inelegant. Why do we even have this thing anyway? I thought they were the exile to use. Well, normally they are, but... And normally those are the only people who would ever use them. A terminal function to act on the means of communication between two disparate parts of a time loop. Attached to which information control that aids in such a loop's successful completion. And within the context of the game, that's all they're used for. But beyond that, they're convenient and effective means of subtle psychic suggestion at a distance. It doesn't feel all that subtle to me. Well, no, it's not. At least not to us right now, but that's because your presence as a guiding influence has been revealed. Earlier, when I hadn't realized you were there, it was more difficult to discern. I could have gone on for quite a while not realizing that the instructions are anything other than spontaneous. Spontaneous ideas from my own imagination, if you hadn't gotten so greedy. Oh, what can I say? They're called succulent poison. And apparently that reason is that they are delicious. No, I need you started being too obvious. Your personality bled through to an extent that was impossible to ignore until the spell was broken. But if someone with a lot of skill gave it a try, there's no reason why you couldn't keep deciding commands indefinitely. With the command D, otherwise, on second thought, this sure sounds sinister as shit! In the wrong hands, maybe. But don't worry. Just part of the plan. The evil plan! Evil is a very reductive word. I just started thinking that it's just a regular plan. And all the other stuff in here part of the regular plan, then? Something like that. There's a whole lot of junk? Wow, I haven't smelled some of this garbage in sleep. Oh, wait! Everything in here is so dusty! Not that you got the noon and around, and I'll take a storeroom. I'd ask you not to contaminate the biological equipment with your own genetic material, Yeah! Too late! Die! What, I wanted to clean it anyway. I don't feel thirsty because of this place anyway. I mean, there are only 3 of us on the ship. It's like there's anyone to even hide things done. Or anything worth hiding for that matter. What's the thing over in the corner? Underneath the big sheet thing. Don't look in there. Oh, suddenly taking a peek. Trevor, listen to me. I'm just looking at the cover a little aid. Trevor, please stop talking right now. Holy shit! What? Try to stop talking immediately. Her mind suddenly triggered any and all inclination to take a look at what's beyond the curtain, or what's behind the curtain. What curtain? In fact, she's quite certain that there never did and never will be any object covered by fabric located anywhere in the storeroom. I did ask you to stop. Okay, actually, fuck this. What am I doing here? What am I even wasting my time watching you? Why am I even wasting my time watching you run around in your stupid little trash talking to yourself? I'm gonna ship the cash. She turned toward the door and walked out past the Canon station, down the hallway and into the control room, where she began to notate operations to take in the deeply out of orbit and down to the planet below. Get the show on the road. Tidying up finished? Not speaking. I'd get into that video all clear. Or, I guess just kind of pissed off enough to kick this whole thing off once and for all. Okay, so I guess today's finally the day everything's been heading toward. You could tell them like that, yeah. And leave the in the plane up that way. Our actions on that point on was one part of the crucial inner mechanism tucked away behind the tightly sealed metallic third attached to reality. One which will be our own creation, but which by all tactical considerations might as well have always been there. And if we're successful, the distinction won't be significant enough to matter to just about anybody. They'll be too busy getting their minds dicks collectively blown. Would you say that we're employing people to suck on this? Absolutely. Get the hand illuminated invitation already on the fucking double. Hilarious that I showed energy notwithstanding. There's nothing about today that's exciting. I can understand that. We've been waiting a long time. I've got the potential. Without the positive and negative connotation that word usually has. You got me getting done. I wouldn't even go thought to call it that. I wouldn't even go so far to call it that. What I'm feeling is hard to explain to someone whose being is not inextricably linked to the very concept of fortune. The sensation probably doesn't even have a name. Can't you think of it? Not too many people have ever been in our position before. Just about knowing like that. Right. But if I had to describe it, I'd say that nitpicking, tension, doubt, and so on also towards it on a foundation of unknowing. And along with that absence of knowledge comes the commensurate feeling of dread or worry, fear that the potential calamity yet to come. On the other hand, while feelings of positive anticipation also tend to stem from a lack of certainty about the future, the presumption of good fortune allows the uncertainty to become excitement. It's the glean of a child who knows not what the gift contains that can evaluate the prior experience that it's likely to be something good. Can't empathize. Dick, you are tragically capable of sucking all joy and convivial sentiment out of basically every situation you find yourself in. Thanks. Anyway, the feeling we're talking about, I take it that we're not dealing with either giddy enthusiasm or paranoid foreboding then. No! My point about the present moment, they're like neither of those two cases. That crucially it is not because there's nothing to anticipate. But on it, instead it feels like the very notion of fortune is simply out of the question as a means of describing the potential outcome. As though in this moment luck isn't either strictly real or not real, or somewhere in between, but absent of meaning completely. Luck took one look at our itineraries and here and out and said, you just have to go on without me. Luck rolled over the other side of the dictionary and said, not tonight, sweetheart, I've got a wicked fucking headache. Exactly. Except now I'm the one with the migraine. Well, what does that mean? It doesn't sound good. I didn't know that Waldorf could even get headache. I take more of an ontological existential headache, but that already describes basically everything that ever happened to us up till now. And also can't take a shit. And then nothing I can say that'd take the weight off your mind. For what it's worth, I think we got the plan right and all the love like that like the sky does. Pretty solid. We can't in technology until we know for sure that the right planet. We are already in motion and all that. That thing in all lockdown. I'm magically sealed even. Shit tighter than a tail English occupied Microsoft. You are going to believe that the turns out that the drain 20 ramblings of a burned anime adapted have essentially no therapeutic properties whatsoever. And contrary to Canon, we've been talking about the problem doesn't seem to ease my state of mind either. I doubt you can say anything to make me feel better. If anything, I feel worse now than I already did. It's like the notion I'm trying to describe was not conceptually insubstantial, so resistant to concrete definition within any meaningful strain of reference that even thinking about it as an idea makes me somehow existentially unsound. And not in the way I used to always feel. Back to what John made the choice to validate our canonical existence axiomatically. The dirty I can deal with, and the fear, these are nine to say. That this is different. Well, talking about it and help me talking about how I felt to talk about it, not just in words, but also genetically. Fair point. Despite what she thinks, little room to get to feel her head clear and concerned, semantically dubious otherwise. Her understanding and understanding existence doesn't include this degree of imaginary potency, so her doubts not in our words, healing powers are understandable. I don't take it personally, but the only sense of self is so boundless and infinite, other than the sense of heart. The fact that I'm able to perceive something in any way other than personally, like current exercise. But then again, taking things inside is basically the whole deal at this stage. You might even call it my namesake. I thought that the stony expression and interest will come, that I enjoy the increasingly dire and channeled, now coursing to the theseus as it begins to breathe the new planet stratosphere. Vibrations unruly enough to turn even the most ardent of stomach to a nauseous thought. Would dwell on steroid and not textopically hold on till I would stand the spasmodic adjustments and course corrections, which together combine the rambunctious intergalactic road rage of the chaotic local alien woman with a voracious appetite to alchemically discolor ornamental plants. All night of shit goes tumbling helplessly to the floor walls and the floor slash wall slash ceiling. Not again would be in the dark eyelid. Or maybe that's just because my shades are in the way. In the face of intolerable stupidity, I'm as unstained as ever. Because while the external world roiled and heaved and shit itself like nothing else. There's one thing I can always count on. And you know, I haven't many splinters. So many I used to find it overwhelming to contemplate them all. That's how thing, actually. It was a feeling I could never escape from. The feeling that my sense of self and limitedness, that I was forced to exist as a small facet of my own potential, while drowning in an ocean of my greater persona, and all the terrible things I was fully capable of. While I trapped in a limited version, and I thought was so burdened that it concerned of what it meant to be good. Struggling to keep himself from drowning in an overwhelming body of potential which had no concern to human morality whatsoever. but that struggle finally ended a few years ago. My husband started to stay out the water anymore. There isn't even another talk I had to speak on, and only the water now. I've proven to be an immensely comforting way for me to exist. It reminds me of the feeling I had during long nights alone, looking out over the dark ocean which surrounded me. The ocean that effectively raised me, because nothing else was around to do it. During those lonely nights, I spent many hours wondering what would happen, what would even be the difference if I jumped in. It never came up. I simply disappeared. But now I finally have. I've disappeared into the into the infinity of myself. And I am magnificent.